Today we shall start with the next point of Linux basics, that is concept of directory. You already know what is meant by directory. A directory is a file whose job is to store the file names and the related information. All the files are contained in a directories. We keep all the files related to each other in one directory. So separate tasks will be having separate directories. Linux uses a hierarchical structure for organizing files and directories. This structure is referred to as a directory tree. The tree has a single root node, the / character, and other directories are contained below it. In the last lecture we have seen the Linux file system, which is an hierarchical tree structure. At the starting we have the root node, which is denoted by a /, and all the remaining are the subdirectories under this root directory. A directory is a location for storing files on your computer. So I hope you have understood the concept of directory in Linux operating system. Next we'll move on to the very important point in Linux operating system, that is the home directory. When you log on to the system, Linux automatically places you in a directory called the home directory. It is created by the system when a user account is opened. The part of the hard disk where you are authorized to save data is called your home directory. Okay, so when you log in and a shell is created, the operating system places you in your home directory. If you want to know what is your home directory, at the bash prompt just type echo $home. This is an shell environment variable which stores the path of your home directory. After typing this, you press enter, you will get your path for your home directory. This path name is stored in the file /etc/password file. The Linux home directory is a directory for a particular user of the system and consists of individual files. It is also referred to as your login directory. It is automatically created as /home for each user in the directory. This /home, that is your login directory or home directory, is automatically created for the user when you create an account in the Linux operating system. And when you log in, the operating system will automatically place you in your home directory. That is, it will make a space on the hard disk where you can save and access your files. That part of the hard disk will be able to access only by you. No other user will be able to use that part of your hard disk. If you are a super user or you are a system administrator, then only you will be able to access the file stored in some other's user account. It is automatically created /home for each user in the directory. It is a standard subdirectory of the root directory. The home directory can be said as a personal working space for all the users. There is a separate directory for every user. How many users have logged into the Linux operating system, that many directories will be available for the users. The name of the user's home directory is by default identical to that of the user. So here in this case you can see that the username of the user may be Kumar, so the home directory will be named after Kumar. For example, a user with a username of Mary would typically have a home directory named Mary. A user's home directory is intended to contain that user files including text, documents, music files, pictures or videos, etc. So I hope you have understood what is home directory. Next we'll move on to the directory handling commands. Since we now know what is a directory, we will see now how to handle this directory by using the directory handling commands. The first command which we are going to see is the pwd command. The directory you are associated with or are working is called a working directory or the current directory. So when you log in, you are in your home directory. You might work in some other directory. That directory is known as the current working directory. So if you want to see what is your current working directory, at the bash prompt just type in pwd and press enter. You will get the path of your working directory. The pwd, P stands for print, W stands for working, D stands for directory. The pwd command displays the path name of the working directory. It displays the current working location or directory of the user. It displays the whole working path starting with the root, that is the /. It is a built-in command. Okay, so right now in which working directory your files are being saved, if you want to know that, we are going to use the command pwd, which will show the path of your working directory. So with this we finish with the pwd command. Next we'll move on to the very and the most important command in Linux, that is the ls commands. ls stands for listing. This command displays the content of a directory. So which files are included in your directory? Like in DOS we use the dir command. In Linux we are going to use the ls command. So at the bash prompt, if you type in ls and press enter, you will get the file names which are stored in your current working directory. This ls command has a variety of options. First is -la. Any command followed with a hyphen are the options to that particular Linux commands. This command will list all the contents of a directory, including the hidden files and directories. So if you give LA option to the ls command, it will give you the contents of the directory, that is current working directory. It will also show you the hidden files. In this case, that is if you give the simple ls command, hidden files will not be shown. Next we are going to see ls-la. In this we are going to see such type of output, that is the whole output. Next option is ls-t. It sorts the file modification time, showing the last edited file. ls-1, it will show you one file per line. That is, it will show you a list of file names, that is one line, one file name. ls-ld, display directory information. If you want the details of a directory, then we can use -d option. In this case, it will show you only the directories which are available in your directory, that is subdirectories. Next option is ls-a, which I have discussed previously. It displays the hidden files. Next, most important is ls-l. It is known as the long listing of files. To show long listing information about the file or directory. So when you give such type of command, you can see previously I have shown you over here. This is also a long listing file where you can see this is the first character of the line. Then you can see something like this RWX. Then you can see something numbers. Okay, I shall discuss this one line in the next screen. So here you can see that we have taken one line of the previous output. Each of this word in the given line has a separate meaning. So what we will see is, first, this first character which you can see over here is an hyphen. This hyphen, or the first character of the line, shows the file type. Means what type of file is this? Now in the previous output, in this case you can see it is D. Okay, in some cases it is a hyphen. So what does this mean? If it is an hyphen, it means it is a normal file. If it is D, as we have previously seen in the output, it means it is a directory. If it is S, it means it is a socket file. And if it is L, it means it is a link file. So here in this output we can see a hyphen, which means C, this file is a normal file. And in the previous outputs you can see over here, this is D, which means happy is not a file but it is a directory. Okay, now you can see in this output, this is a single dot and this is a double dot. This single dot refers to the current directory and this double dot represents the parent directory. Okay, current directory and parent directory. So this is about the first character in this given output. Next you can see is this RW underscore RW underscore RW underscore. Okay, these 9 characters represent the file permissions. So R stands for read permission, W stands for write permission, and X stands for execute permissions. This is the first group of permissions, this is the second group of permission, and this is the third group of permission. These first 3 characters represent the permissions for an owner, that is who created the file. The next 3 characters represent the permissions of the group to which the owner belongs, and the next 3 characters belongs to the permissions for others, that is other than owner and group. So here you can see the next 9 characters specify the file's permissions. The 3 characters specify R for read, W for write, and X for execute. They are specified in the order of user, group, and others. Now in this case, for example, you can see that for first 3 characters which belongs to an owner, the owner has the read permission and the write permission. He does not have the execute permission. So indicates read and write permission for user. The next 3 characters belong to group. So here also same, the group members can have read permission and write permission but not execute permission. Read and write permission for group and only read for others. That is, the next 3 characters for others. There is only a single R, which means read. If all 3 permissions are given to user, group, and others, the format is like this. Okay, so I hope you have understood this second output. We'll go to the third one. In this case, that is Maverick. Third one is this one, which you can see in green. It means the number of links. This field specifies the number of links. So this 1.c file has only 1 link. This next specifies the owner's name. So Maverick is the owner of this file. Next, this one specifies the group of the file. So this Maverick is also the group of files. 1176, this specifies the size of the file in bytes, and the remaining part specifies the date and time of the last modification of the file. This is the date and the time when this file was modified last, and this last field specifies the name of the file. Okay, so I'll again revise this. The first characters tells us the file type. The next 9 characters tell us the file permissions. The next tells us the link of the file, file owner, file group, size of file, last modified date and time, and file name. So I hope you have understood the long listing. Thank you.